Peace. What's goody? Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Trap the Dawn. We in here. I see you. Oxtail Cook. Said you was 5 when the shit came out, huh? Hey. It is what it is. I see y'all. Peace. Sean Green. Tweezle. What's good, Fambo? Thank you. On this glorious day, on this Thursday, December 4th, which today makes today's math culture freedom. Culture is one way of life. Freedom is to free the dome from a mental death and power. Peace. That's right, peace to the gods and earths. "35 years ago today, we dropped what many consider to be a hip-hop classic. The group was Brand Nubian, and the album was All for One. Welcome back to the God Pod with Lord Jamar. I am Lord Jamar. Coming back. Yeah, you see this limited edition Stussy t-shirt from back in the days. Had to pull that bitch out. Brand Nubian beanie. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Oh, they said today's the homie birthday, born day. I know who you talking about, Craigo, and that would be happy born day to Jay-Z. That's right. Happy born day to Jay-Z. He happened to be born on the same day that we dropped our debut album. Yeah. It's probably added to, his luck. Somebody said, I want Brand Nubian mass appeal. Hey, shit can happen. Hit the mass appeal people up. Lord Jamar got an album ready to go. Building 7. Building 7's ready to go. How y'all feel out there today on this glorious day? I figured I'd come through. I know I was on yesterday. First of all, everybody click that like button upon entering. Click the share button. Let people know that we on right now. Yeah. I wanted to share just, some history. 35 years, man. That's nothing to sneeze at, man. There's a lot. I've seen a lot of people come and go in this industry. People might have had a record here, a record there, album here. But to be able to remain in the game, Craigo, I can't sit here and have a fucking conversation with you. I'm in the middle of a show. You like, anyway, cuzzo, what you been up to? I'm doing my show, Craigo. Come on. I'll talk to you later. That's my cousin Craig. Anyway, Hey, Leah Sawyer. Peace. How you? Uh, yeah, I'm just reading some of these. Just reading some of these comments in chat and all this type of shit. Yeah. Anyway, you know, 35 years to still be here, man. That's I think that's pretty much a big accomplishment, and to have something that a body of work that really sticks in the psyche of a generation, you know, and that really for a lot of people, that album really meant something to them. It wasn't just music; like it was reflective of a time uh, that we were living in. Uh, and I just wanted to bring us back to um, just what was going on. You know what I mean? How we made the music, uh, how the climate of New York at the time, the climate of us as young men. Um, basically trying to get into some of the thought process track by track, um, as far as this joint was concerned, this album was concerned. Um, I might give my man Grand Poobah a call a little later and see if he wants to get on and chop it up with y'all for a second. Um, Somebody said they need the All for One movie. Okay. Okay. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to come on and celebrate a milestone, if that's okay with you. Uh, yeah. If y'all new and all that, follow me on IG and X at Lord Jamar. Like, share, and subscribe. As I said, you want to follow the page on IG for this show. It's the God Pod, Lord Jamar on IG. Shout out to all my regulars in the house. They said Tommy Boy took away Dance to My Ministry instrumental. I want that joint back, sir. I thought they put out a whole instrumental album. Tommy Boy. You telling me Dance to My Ministry's not on there? I have it. So Dance to My Ministry. I'm glad you were able to go off. Yeah, we're going to get to all of these joints right here. Oh, I thank you, UHA. I see you. So yeah, Brand Nubian, Grand Poobah, Lord Jamar, Sadat X. Well, Derek X at that time, and then became Sadat X, and Alamo. Um, yeah, you know, those are the people on the cover. You know what I mean? Those is what you know as Brand Nubian. If I keep it a stack, no this to this man or nothing, but contractually, Brand Nubian is Grand Poobah, Lord Jamar, and Sadat X. You know what I mean? That's who Brand Nubian is contractually. You know what I mean? Always has been. That's how shit gets split up and all this type of shit. You know what I mean? Alamo was brought on. He's in the pictures and all of that type of shit. But a lot of times, you might try to hear him act like, oh, they didn't acknowledge me as a full member because, listen, I want to keep this positive. I want to keep this positive. You know what I mean? But love for Alamo and all of that. But, there's a lot of people that are members of Brand Nubian that weren't necessarily contractual members. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you who the contractual members are. But we have other members like Alamo, like Sincere, like Stud Doogie. You know what I mean? Like Ja Will. Shit. A lot of people that's been riding with us for years that are members of Brand Nubian. But as far as, who signed those contracts and all that, me, Pooh-Bah, and X. All right? Somebody said, wow, Pooh-Bah is skinny. Listen, that picture right there that you're looking at, me, X, and Alamo, we're like 21 years old. Pooh-Bah is probably like 25, some shit like that. Yeah. 21 years old. Just, naive to the world, naive to this business, but very much, possessing a certain self-confidence and feeling like we knew we had something, we knew we had something, and it was all about bringing everybody else up to speed type shit. You know what I mean? But when we taking this picture right here, people don't really know who the fuck we are. You know what I mean? We had one single at this time. Well, two singles. We had a single that had an A and a B side. So the A side was a song called Brand Nubian, and the B side was Feel So Good. Both of which made it to the album, but only on the CD, like the longer version. Had both records on it. Anyway, yeah, but when we took this shit right here, we probably had the album made, but it wasn't out yet. So we knew the fire that we had, and it was like, damn, just can't wait till this shit come out, man. Because I don't care if they don't like none of these shits. There's certain joints on here that they're not going to be able to run on, is how I felt. You know what I mean? There's going to be certain joints on here that if I know hip hop, and, I come from a DJ background. So as a DJ, you have to be able to, understand the tastes of the listener and all this type of shit. So, I'm listening to these joints and I'm like, nah, ain't no way they could front on this all for one joint. I'm like, nah, ain't no way they could front on this drop the bomb joint. Like, ain't no way they could front on this fucking wake up joint. Ain't no way they could front on this slow down joint. Like, those is the ones that I'm just like, okay, we're gonna get this cock blower out of here. Bye. What the fuck was I just saying now? This motherfuckers. Yeah, I just knew that certain joints was gonna hit. Now I didn't necessarily know that every single song, people was gonna feel like that shit is crazy. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. But certain ones I felt like, and those most of the ones that I named, oh, Step to the Rear was another one. I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. They're gonna front on that Step to the Rear joint. Like, so yeah. That's what you looking at right there with that flick, man. You looking at some dudes that, yeah, we know we got some shit, and you getting ready to find out that we got some shit type shit. Um, so when you look at the track listing, the first joint, because when we made this joint right here, now shout out to my man Pooh. He definitely came with the sample for this shit right here. And you know what I mean? We all helped with production in ways, but Pooh definitely, he was our leader with this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he had done this already. He made records and he made an album and all this type of shit with master ceremonies. So there was a lot of trust that we had in Pooh. You know what I mean? But it seemed like we all kind of had a similar musical taste. So when he's pulling out these records and shit like that, and at All for One, I remember that was some obscure James Brown shit. Like he wasn't even singing on the shit. It was like some instrumental James Brown shit. When he pulled that out and ended up putting that shit together the way it was put together, I was like, yo, this fucking beat is retarded. Now, at first, it's like, damn, do we need like more drums on this shit? And later on, when I did the remix, I ended up putting heavy drums on All for One. But when we first did it, stripped down like that and only putting the 808 as like what we would call the foot, or the kick, that was different, man. That was different. That was, that might have been kind of groundbreaking in itself, to where we didn't just force we just didn't force a drum machine over, or a drum loop over that. We just kind of let that shit, just the rawness of it, just shine, you know? And I think basically how we used to do shit back then, we would make the beat. Once the beat is made, I think everybody would go home, you go to your rest, you write your shit, and then we come back to the studio, the next appointed day or whatever the case may be, and record your vocals. We wasn't writing shit in the studio at this time. Hang on, I like this question. LJ, is Brand Nubian part of the golden era of hip hop? If so, what years constitute the golden era? That's a good question. I would say yes, Brand Nubian is part of the golden era. I think most people would consider the golden era to be from the late 80s to like the mid to late 90s. So I would say from about 85 to about 98, 96, 98, somewhere around there, I would consider a golden era in hip hop. What's up, A1 Drizzy? You never too late as long as you're here. So yeah, I would kind of consider that golden era. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a little more than 10 years. I don't want to say 85 to 95, although some may say that. I don't know. But I feel like there was some classic shit, if I'm not mistaken, that came out in like 96, 97. Isn't that when we got Nas and shit like that? Some people are saying 88 to 99. Some said 85 to 95. Yeah, what do y'all think? Somebody said late 90s to mid 2000s for me. You must be a young motherfucker, Danny. 87 to 93. How you gonna say 87 to 93 when Rakim said no tricks in 86? It's time to build. How the fuck can you say, anybody say, not include 86 when Rakim said, I came in the door, I said it? What? Nah. Ain't no way. That's why I say like 85. There you go, Henry. I say about 85 to 97. Something like that. I'm liking, though, everybody has their own little variation of what they think it should be. That's interesting. Thank you, All Island King. You know I appreciate you as usual. They said they removed my alert and missed the last live stream. Redid it. All good now. OTR right now. Oh, out of town right now? Is that what that means? We'll watch this later. Got this LP the second week it came out. 100 mics. Aloha. Hang loose, my brother. Aloha to you too. Appreciate you as always. So what era was the Cold Crush Brothers? They said the Cold Crush Brothers would be in like the founding era. You know what I mean? Like that's like the pioneering era, like the yeah, I'd call that more the founding era. You know what I mean? That's when hip hop was getting getting on its legs, you know? So yeah. They said, so LJ with the dreads is post golden era? No, LJ with the dreads is in golden era. I started growing my dreads at the top of this fucking album in 90. Look at my shit right here. It's twisted on the top. That's when I started growing my shit right there. So by 91, 92, I already got my shit. We in full golden era stride at that point. Okay. But yeah. Some people say 85 to 97. Yeah, I could go with that. I definitely can go with that. Somebody said 81. 81's a little early. I'm not going to hold you. 81, they still was making records that I didn't agree with, even though we loved them. But a lot of that Sugar Hill shit, you know, when they're replaying the samples and all, I ain't like that shit. I didn't understand why they weren't using the real samples and all that type of shit, because that shit sounded corny to me. But, you know, you're going to take whatever you can get at the time. So it was like, fuck it, you know. if that's what they're gonna give us, then that's what we're gonna have to take. Yeah, somebody said 79 to 92. Nah, that's not the golden era. Uh-uh. 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 Somebody said 85 to 03. I think how far back you push it really depends, because there was a lot of good shit that came out in the early, 2000s too. I can't front. So, yeah. But I think we hit that sweet spot. I think we kind of know where the golden era lies. 79. He said LOL, ain't no damn 79. Run DMC. Run DMC was still going during the golden era. I could say that. So anyway, back to this track list. All for One. First up, you want to put your best foot forward. So, yes, I think that was a great starting song to really, especially on some street shit. What's up, Zambian? I see you, my brother. Peace. We're just doing this 35th anniversary thing, Just happy to be here 35 years later. Some shit that a lot of people is not able to do, I'm just saying. So yeah, I feel like All for One was a great, punch you in the face type record. Like, oh shit. Like, you hear this shit? The way it just sounded, the way it came, the way it comes on, the speed of it, it's like 101, but it doesn't feel, it's 101 beats per minute, but it doesn't feel fast per se, but it's definitely up around your heart rate area, which is 98. So yeah, just you see how the face gets a little ugly, like that fucking bass. Oh my goodness. And then one for all. It's all for one. Like, see, back then everything didn't come from the same record. We would take shit from all different records. The bass, the main sample might be from one place, but then we got the from like what's that? I don't know, one of them fucking break beats. We did you got the fill, and then that All for One. I don't think that's from the same record. That might be from a different fucking record, if I'm not mistaken. So boom, you got All for One, right? Then Feel So Good. So Feel So Good, and you see it got an asterisk next to it because this wasn't on the tape. This is on the CD. On the CD, they included the original two songs that were our first single, which is Feel So Good and Brand Nubian. They both have an asterisk on this playlist right here. Because on the tape, those two songs were not on there. Okay. But Feel So Good was one of the songs, even though I fucking hate the video. We all hated the video. But it was our first fucking video. We didn't know any better. You know what I mean? They gave us some fucking white boys that fucking, who knew who the fuck they were. They probably was some fucking film students from NYU. I don't know where they got these fucking dudes from. You know what I mean? And they put us in a fucking, some junkyard, fucking Fat Albert looking shit in a warehouse and shit off the FDR type of shit. Like, but we was just happy to have a video. We was just happy to even have a video. So, you know, and it's funny, my man Roman asked me, if you can get a mulligan and do that video over, how would you do it? And in my mind, I'm thinking, Feel So Good sounds to me like a summertime outdoors, barbecue, having fun, you know, with the family type of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I did it over, it would be a real New Rochelle orientated, you know, just seeing children and mothers and fathers and you know what I mean? And just people just having a good time type of shit. I think that's the type of video that if, if I had a chance to do it over, I think that would be more fitting than us fucking jumping around and shit, trying to dance and all this stupid shit we was doing in that fucking video. Mm. But yes, it was a dope record. And, you know, it broke on on the mix show circuit. It broke. It did its thing. It made our name somebody that said, okay, well, I'm ready to hear what else they got type of shit, you know? Um Zambian said, oh, I remember too that this album was on Qatar Airways Music Library. I listened to it on my flight to Uganda. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. That's very dope. So, Feels So Good. First of all, I think that's another record that Pooh had. I'm pretty sure that's a record that Pooh had. And yeah, again, we following the brothers' lead on the Feel So Good shit. So now Concerto in X minor, right? This is the Sadat X, Derek X solo record. Now, I'm not sure if we originally intended to do solo records. But at some point, famously, in the middle of making this album, there was a rift that occurred, and Pooh started doing a lot of solo shit on his own. So we're like, okay, he doing some solo shit. So we need to do some solo shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess everybody's gonna have a solo song on here. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the attitude that came. So Concerto in X minor, I'm not sure who came with the record. I think it was X or Alamo came with the actual record that they wanted to use. Now at first when I heard that beat, I was like, this is kind of odd, kind of quirky, but I definitely wanted to like try my hand at like putting it together type of shit on some producer type of shit. So keep in mind at this time, we're not pushing buttons and shit like that. It's more of verbal direction and telling the engineer what you want. You know what I mean? Sample it here, chop it here. You know what I mean? And then we used to do things to do the changes instead. We wasn't sequencing shit like that. We'd have all the loops going simultaneously. And then on the board, you would punch in and out in order to, make a change and shit like that. And so, I remember that, yeah, X or Alamo is the one that brought the fucking record. But I remember me, being the lead producer on that record right there. And then when it came to the arrangements of the record, you know, that definitely was me all day. Like, you know what I mean? Doing all the drops and all this type of shit. I did the scratches on the fucking record. That's me in the beginning doing the fucking hello, really big show, really big show. Introducing. I'm doing my Ed Sullivan impression on that motherfucker. Some people was like, I didn't know that was you. Yeah, that was me. So Brand Nubian, like, you know what I mean? Like all that shit. New York, New York. I'm playing the cop up against the car. Like all of that shit. Like I fucking, you know what I mean? Like this was my first record that I produced. I fucking, you know what I mean? What's my man's name? I Quincy Jones this motherfucker right here. You know what I mean? And X, but X, the way his mind worked and the way he wrote the shit and all of that, the way we had to like stop and go and you know what I mean? Like it was just some ill, different shit. And also I'm gonna say in that climate, if it wasn't for people like De La Soul and the way they started changing music at the time, I'm not sure if a song like Concerto X in X minor would have hit the same way that it hit. You know what I mean? Yeah, it said no AI. That was all LJ voiceovers. Yep. Doing different impressions and voices and shit. And when I did the Up Against the Car, boy, where I got that from in my mind is at the end of the message and shit where they talk about, Fury's 5, what's that, a gang? Like Up Against the Car. It reminded me of that type of shit. So I was like, let me do some shit like that right there. You know what I mean? I'm just showing you where a lot of frame of reference shit come from and shit. So yeah, X wrote some ill shit. The beat was ill. And when you listen to it, I feel like a song like that is what could make people feel like we was down with native tongues and all this type of shit, even though we really wasn't. We was just cool with them, but we wasn't like officially in native tongues and shit, or else we would have been on Buddy and all that other type of shit. We'd have been in the videos and all that, you know what I mean? Like you ain't see us in that shit. Nobody told us when they was shooting that shit. Because we would have been there. We would have showed up for that shit. Oh, hell yeah. They shooting us fucking some native tongue shit. Let's go. So anyway, I Quincy Jones that shit right there. The next song, Ragtime. Now that's a song that's produced by my man Skeff Anselm, who is Q-Tip's cousin. But at the time, I don't even necessarily know if we knew that. And Skeff was an engineer at the original studio where we first, did our demos at and shit like that, which is Strong City Studios in the Bronx on Allerton Avenue, Jazzy J's studio. So that's where we really knew, that's where we knew Skeff from. Peace, Karen 757. Thank you. Said miss you much. Love. Aw. Appreciate you. Oh, we got Buffalo in the house. Rough Buff in the house. So yeah, Skeff Anselm, who was, instrumental in recording like our first demo, which was I Ain't Going Out Like That. A record called I Ain't Going Out Like That, you know. And then some of the early joints, we did a couple of things, I think, that was on the album that we might have recorded in Strong City. If I'm not mistaken, we might have recorded Drop the Bomb in Strong City. Yeah. But anyway, so when it's time to do the album, he's like, he been producing and playing us his beats, and you know what I mean? So it's like, all right, let's get a homie a chance, get a homie a shot. So he had that joint right there. We all agreed on it. We all liked that one. And we hopped on the motherfucker. You know what I mean? I remember really liking Ragtime at that time. That might have been another one too that I was like, nah, this shit dope right here. I don't know if they're going to front on this either type of shit. So yeah, I don't know. Ragtime, that was just a real feel-good song. Where did we record that at? I think we did record that at Calliope, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think we recorded that at Strong City. I think we recorded that at Calliope. Wait, hang on. Silk Child, shout out to you. Thank you. He said, All for One album got that hunger kick to it, where if you throw it on today, you get everybody just having fun, including the new era. Yeah, and when you say hunger kick, I could only imagine that you mean like the hunger of a new artist. You know what I mean? Because that's what the fuck we was, We was hungry. We was, first of all, we were real fans of this shit. Like, I think in order to be a great artist, man, you got to first be a great fan. You got to really fucking love the genre that you're in and be a fan of it to want to be able to add on to it and do it justice, and do it in a way that you as a fan could appreciate. You see what I'm saying? So when we're making records that that if I remove myself from the equation and say like, all right, if I'm just listening to this shit and I'm not even involved, would it be dope? Because people can gas themselves up, and just because they're a part of something, they want it to be better than it is, you see, and they'll lie to themselves sometimes. You know what I mean? So if you can take the emotions of having yourself involved, if you can take that out of the equation sometimes, it's helpful. And yeah, it leads you to more truth. So I'm like, would I like this if I wasn't even involved in it? And the answer was yes. Like, the answer was yes. Like, nah, this shit is dope. Like, it's not just because I'm involved in this shit. It's because this shit fire. Karen said, Lord Jamar has a voice that reminds me of DJs back in the day. Yeah. Because a lot of DJs had a real man's voice. And not these fucking sweet ass voices that they got nowadays. Motherfucker can appreciate a deep voice out here in these fucking streets. So anyway, let's move on to the right. Now, to the right ended up being like some shit that they played on mix shows a lot. this was a Pooh Bah special again. You know what I mean? Pooh Bah's pulling out the, you know, what was that, Funky President, or, you know, whatever the fuck that break is. Um Now I kind of thought at first, I'm like, this seems kind of simple. Like that break beat is just, we've heard that a lot before. Like, but it was sampled a little differently. Um, and then when he hit the see, that was from a Master of Ceremonies record called Crime. So that was like their first record that they ever made. And so, you know what I mean? Giving a nod to his to where his shit started at, he incorporated that over the put that over the fucking over that break. Now, again, we're following Pooh Bah's lead, but part of me is like, I'm not really sure with this one. I'm not gonna lie. I was not really sure because again, it just seemed the break just seemed just we've heard this before. Like it just didn't seem, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I just thought that we might had better beats or other shit that we could have made. Like, you know what I mean? But I liked the song. You know what I mean? Like I liked it. You know what I mean? And I appreciated it more later. But I didn't hate it. If I don't think I would have participated. I haven't participated on anything that I hated. You see what I'm saying? So, but that was one that I wasn't sure. You see what I'm saying? Like I knew that again, there were certain songs that nobody's gonna be able to front on. I wasn't sure if people were gonna be able to front on that particular song. Oh, Henry said, I didn't even know that when reciting your music, it was teaching me how to count from 1 to 10 in Supreme Mathematics until we met the 5%ers in 1998. And that was something that was purposely done because it was done to me, you know? The Supreme team included the mathematics in their music early on and played it on radio. And I didn't realize that they was teaching me math. And when I realized that that's what they were doing, I was like, yo, that's brilliant. That's some shit that I need to do. So in the spirit of the Supreme team, we started doing that. Peace, Dr. Bishara Wilson in the house. He said, peace, Lord. One for All album helped set the tone and get me through private school as part of my Black man is God mindset in private school and run the place on a student level. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because, and I thank you for that, Bashara. It's a powerful mantra to really say the Black man is God and like and to feel that within yourself and coursing through your veins and like truly believing it. You know what I mean? It gives you a power and it makes you feel like all things are possible. If I'm God, why shouldn't I be able to do this and that, or things that seem to be out of reach for certain people, So if I'm God and I'm in a private school, And it might be a bunch of white people in this motherfucker. But I still, now I know that I'm God, so I can run all these motherfuckers. I can run this place with the teachers, everybody. And that's the type of, confidence you get. When I had knowledge of self and I'm going to an alternative high school and all this type of shit, and I'm being combative with the teachers, to the point where the teacher's like, well, if you know so much, then why don't you teach the class? And I'm like, okay, I will. Okay, I will. And once a week in social studies, my teacher would let me teach the class, and I would teach them shit that I knew. You see what I'm saying? I would teach them shit where I'm like, yo, they telling you this shit over here, but here's you know what I mean? Here's what I know over here, and they lying about that type of shit. Like, yeah, I've been on that shit. So I know what you mean, Bashara, and I appreciate you chiming in. So yeah, To the Right, dope song. I just wasn't sure. Then we get to Dance to My Ministry, my solo joint. Now, I probably was the last one to do a solo joint, right? Just like I was the last one to put out a solo album, you feel the pressure like, damn, I need to do something dope. Like, you know what I mean? I need to do some dope shit. Where am I going to find the beat? You know what I mean? What am I going to rap about? Blah, 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 blah. So for this one, the beat was found by no other than Alamo. Okay? See, I'm going to give Alamo his credit where credit is due. Alamo found the record. Like, yo, you shouldn't check this shit out. You need to fucking fuck with this shit right here. Heard it? Psh, that's fire. That's fire. Yeah, let's do it. And then from there, I got on my Quincy Jones shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm telling the fucking engineer where to sample the shit. I'm putting the cuts, all those cuts that's on there, all those. See, because y'all got to understand, I started as a DJ. Who became an MC, right? But I loved scratching and all of that type of shit. So most of the cuts that you hear on the first Brand Nubian album is me. It's not Alamo. Most of them are me, not all of them. Some of them are I think Jazzy J did some cuts on I think he did the cuts on Drop the Bomb. What else? I don't know. There was a couple, maybe one or two others, but most of the joints that have scratching on it is me doing the scratching. So that pop 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 me, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to like put all my shit in one on this song. Like, okay, I'm gonna rap, I'm gonna fucking produce, and I'm gonna fucking DJ type of shit. Like, I'm gonna let you see that, you know what I mean? I'm a hip hop machine. I do it all. So once the beat was established, it's writing time. It's writing time. And I knew that, part of my real strength at the time was really just going hard on some 5% shit. You know what I mean? Just on some knowledge of self shit. But let me see if I could do it in a way that's, you know what I mean? That's in the vein of some of my heroes like Rakim and shit like that. So when I'm writing this shit, I'm trying to make it visual in your mind. You know what I mean? Like how Rakim talking about, going through the Milky Way, out of sight, all that type of shit. You know what I mean? So when I'm talking about come into my laboratory, I'm gonna take you on a tour. And Unk is a key, and the key is knowledge, which unlocks my lab's door. You see what I'm saying? You can visually say, okay, you got to use the key. The Unk is the key that opens the door into the lab. Okay, but then I'm like, careful as you enter. Heat generates from the center. Lord Jamar's the inventor. Production of black facts put onto a black wax. I got a lot to say, so there's stacks. I said, to the right is where I keep my jewels. The Quran and 120 lessons. I said, it might ignite, so watch your 12 jewels. Word is born, because the gods be testing. And then I had another voice come in. Why the test? Because manifesting is the duty of the civilized. From the dumb, you bring forth the wise, so they can open their eyes to their being and finally realize they're the all-eye seeing, black man supreme, knowledge machine, the alpha and omega, the arm, a leg, arm, a head. And like jam, these facts will spread over the thoughts of the white bread. Because we've been misled for the longest. It's time to rise up and gather our strongest. Brothers and sisters, misses and misters, heroes and sheroes will take us from the zeros we were thought to be and show us how it ought to be. Resist passively? Hell, I fought for thee. Culture of my ancestry. And made it so you can dance to my ministry. Woo! I ain't gonna hold you, man. When I wrote that probably was another song that I said, nah, they're not gonna be able to front on this shit right here. They're not gonna be able to front on this. I probably thought that song was gonna be bigger than it was. But there was so much shit on that record, you know. And it's and to be honest, later on, I'm finding out that that a lot of people did like that song, that I necessarily wasn't aware of it like that. You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of hype around Pooh-Bah. And even X with his voice and all that type of shit. But now people say, oh, Dance to My Ministry, that was my shit. Oh, word? Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, that's what's up. I appreciate you. Moving on. Drop the bomb. Oh, shit. Hang on. This is the God, Haji. Let me see if he wants to talk right now. Peace to the God. Hang on a second, God. Peace.
Hey,
What's good, God?
I'm here, Lord. What's good with you?
Shit, I'm actually live right now, God.
All right, that's peace.
Talking to the people, going through this track listing right now.
Okay. What's the one for all, John?
Yeah, the all for one,
All
yeah.
for one. I always say that shit better.
Right. Well, hang
Is
on.
it
All
one?
for one, one for all. Hang on is the name of the album. Yes.
Yeah.
And
I
all
thought
for
all for
one.
one.
See, I get those confused all the time. I actually just posted this shit wrong.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I gotta
It's the same
correct this
thing. It's
shit.
360. So
Right.
one
Uh,
for all. It's all for one. So however you say it, it's still gonna be the same thing. So,
right. So well shit, ladies and gentlemen, on the phone right now, we got Grand Poobah is on the line, just
peace.
dropping in. So right now I'm actually up to drop the bomb, right? I was going song for song, just building on the track listing. You know what I mean? Um, and I just got to drop the bomb. And to me, tell me, how you felt about it. But when we made Drop the Bomb, to me, that was like the quintessential Brand Nubian song. Like, to me, that's what Brand Nubian was supposed to sound like in my mind. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just sounded like Nubian. It sounded, but it was hip hop. It was hard. It was like, that shit was dope as fuck. And do you remember how that came about? Because I think you definitely, again, came with the sample on that. I didn't do the scratches on that one. Who did the scratch?
Did it?
Was it Shabazz? I thought it was Jazzy J. Shabazz did the
It might
scratches?
have been. Yeah. It could have been Jay. It was one of the two. I know Shabazz scratched on something. Man.
Okay. That could have been Shabazz, though, now that I hear it.
Yeah.
Shabazz is very crispy like that. So that could have been Shabazz.
Crispy, bro. You ever listen to that Dynamite? Not to get off track, but
Oh, of course. Dynamite was Dynamite. Dynamite. That was
he
my
was spinning
shit.
back, transforming like
Right.
before that. Yeah. But Drop the Bomb. That was the energy, like.
Right. Like that just sounded like a perfect, like, yo, we Brand Nubian, and this is some real Nubian sounding hip hop shit. Like what made you come with that record type of shit? And didn't we do that at we did that at Jazzy J's, if I remember.
That was done that day.
Yeah.
Yep. What made it come out with that? That's just a funky. That track was. I didn't know what we was gonna do on it, but that's the energy it gave off. Like, you know what I mean?
And see, I also remember at that time, certain records, it was almost a race. Like you're surprised that certain people didn't use certain records already. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like that was one of those type of joints. Like, nobody even really rocked this yet. Like, and I'm surprised. Like, didn't it kind of feel like one of those type of breaks? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it wasn't really a break beat, like, kind of. It wasn't like, that wasn't in like DJ's crates for break beat, kind of. That was kind of off the grid. It was a break beat, but it wasn't a break beat. You know what I mean?
Right, but I feel like I heard that shit before. Like, you know what I mean?
You definitely heard it.
Yeah.
It was like a kind of a commercial record. Like, you know what I mean? Jungle, all those shits were at that time when those records were coming out. Those were mainstream records, kind of like, you know. Get down. We were like disco era, that hip. You know what I mean? That going into that R&B, like it was. Those were popular records, like, you know what I mean? Because the whole records used to play. It wasn't, niggas didn't just grab it from the break. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and then people, that's some household, like my cousin had that in his crate, my older cousin, like Tasha Kuma, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So those are records, like, just be laying around, and, you might hear, all right, until you got into the hip hop game and music is where those things really start to realize. You know what I mean? When you start to realize those type of things, like, like, y'all could sample that. You know what I mean? Like, we wasn't thinking like that before hip hop. You know what I mean?
Right.
But those records did exist. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then he
Right.
was dancing to the whole jungle boogie. Whoa, like doing all, that was our Soul Train, you know what I mean?
Right.
Niggas would do the Soul Train line or Soul Train to that joint. You know what I mean? So we
Definitely.
definitely heard it before you know what I mean? That's it.
Right. It's like 35 years. Like, first of all, you've been doing this shit longer than 35 years. That was not your debut album. You had an
Right,
album
right,
before that shit. What was the
right.
name? What was the name? What was the name of it?
MCs, Master Ceremonies,
So it's the self-titled album.
Dynamite.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dynamite. Okay.
Master Ceremonies.
Right. That was the name. I thought that was the name of the album, Dynamite. Um, yeah, like first of all, congratulations on the award that you just received, the paid in full award out in Las Vegas.
Let's see.
Congratulations on that. Um, yeah, like just how does it feel? You know what I mean? You have seen a lot of people come and go in this game, as we both have. How does it
Right.
feel to still be here for people to still know who Grand Poobah is, still request to see us on stage and all of that type of shit? Like, how
Yeah,
does that feel, man?
yeah, it's humbling and it's honoring. Like, it's like, first of all, we started as a shorty to just picking up a mic rhyming. Because like we did it all back then. We didn't just rhyme, we DJ, we break dance, we did all elements of hip hop. We was involved in from the beginning.
Right.
You know what I mean? So to become a master and master your craft and go on to that, next level and people love what you do and honor you, man. And of course, it's a blessing, man. Because that's what entertainment is all about. Like you want to entertain the people and you want to give them your perspective on how you feel about music and how you deal with music. So it's always a blessing, like, you know what I mean? And I just feel blessed, man, and honored, and you know what I mean? Appreciate all the love, bro. You know how that go.
Right.
Humble, God.
Yeah. I was not to go off track crazy, but I just did you see the thing about Diddy and all of that type of shit, the Diddy documentary that they had on
Nah, I
Netflix?
didn't watch that. I didn't see that.
Okay, so basically they're talking about how this guy would like, you know, take from the culture and use it to like his advantage. And yesterday on my show, I was talking about how he really took a lot of your energy. You know what I mean? Down to the shit with Mary. I was talking about how you had the sister Asia, and you were basically doing what Puffy ended up doing with Mary, that he basically stole your fucking idea type of shit. And that this is something that he been doing in order to like propel himself. He didn't have the sauce, and he would see people that did have the sauce and like and sponge off that shit to where he had Mary rhyming on the Roy Ayers shit and all of this type of shit. Like he steadily kept looking at what you was doing type of shit and like trying to pull from that. Like you acknowledge that?
Yeah, but that's how they get like that started way in the beginning. Like even us, for instance, we had to see it somewhere in order to know how to do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Some people get in a position where they have, the finance and the like channel to do all of that, and you can. So pardon me, I'm looking at stuff, but yeah, where you like, oh, damn, all right, I can do this and do that and do this, like, so he's looking at his exerting, and so basically he's just doing what he learned from coach and taking it to a level because, you know what I mean? So I don't really like, he definitely, did the mop sponge, but, you know what I mean? Who didn't? You know what I'm saying? But not to that level, like, you know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't for Kaz and me knowing how to and watching him and learning how to do, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
it's just got bigger when it got commercialized and industry wise. All right, hold on one second.
Mm-hmm. Silk Child 75, thank you. He said, much love to Pooh Bah. The Master of Ceremonies Dynamite album was just criminally slept on. For real, for real. I still bump it to this day. Uncivil E6P, thank you. He said, LJ and Grand Pooh, we need a Brand Nubian documentary.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I was talking with somebody having a debate, and they saying that like I didn't have integrity. Somebody questioned my integrity.
Who questioned your integrity?
Somewhere though. So, and I was like, integrity. What's the manifestation of integrity? Break it down to me. You know what I mean? And then they said something like, yeah, because I guess I'm son. You was taking the money from the Cashbox studio. Brought that shit up, like, I'm like, yeah, but okay, I did.
Yes, I did.
But in the process, what happened?
A classic was made.
A classic,
and so made. Regardless, everything happens for a reason.
Exactly. So what I got to do with it? $40, like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, motherfuckers is heroes and legends today.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, when you look back at all that type of shit, you're like, it was petty shit. But again, it was needed, okay? Because let's keep it real. If all of that shit didn't happen, and then the famous confrontation when I was left out to dry, right? so, but if that didn't happen, right, you probably might have not.
It would have threw my whole groove.
But hold up, you might have not made records like Step to the Rear. You might have not made, because a lot of those records that you started doing solo came from that fucking little rift that we ended up having in that moment. You see what I'm saying? Right. But at the same time, those was classic records that needed to be on there. You see?
And I was more experienced. Like, I knew what it took to. This wasn't no accident that we won and niggas became legends. Remember, I had a group Master of Ceremony. Remember, I was a nigga in my hood before Wax even came about. I was always that dude, so I knew what it took, and you know what I mean?
And that's why I told them in the beginning of this, when we're going through the track listing, and I'm like, okay, we starting all for one. Boom. Pooh Bah had that record. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Feels so good. Pooh Bah had that record. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because, and we like, yo, we're trusting his lead. He already did this type of shit. So a lot of this shit was us being like, all right, we're going to trust his lead. But at the same time, I was saying at the same time, we had a similar like musical tastes and all this type of shit.
But that's why I mess with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's all the beginning, the foundation. Remember, y'all was solo. You was working on your stuff and X was working on his, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
But to come together, like to have interest in y'all, showed that y'all had. I knew y'all had what it took to be where you are today. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't, no, it's not like, it could have been, I ain't messing with these niggas. Oh, these niggas trying. It could have been anything but what it was. You know what I'm saying? But what it was is self-explanatory now. We could talk about it 35 years later. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or 35 years greater. You know what I mean? So, like I said, it's something y'all deserve because, like I said, I seen it in the beginning. You know, y'all both had different styles and two totally different. And I seen everything. It wasn't just your rhyming skills. It's your cadence. It's your character. It's your movement. Come on, Jay. Come on, you was smashing joints with me. Go on the mic. Fly dudes, be around fly dudes. Like, come on, bro.
Young Jay, this dude taking me to shows, master ceremony shows. And you're like, Where does
And
nigga
you
Jay at?
popping up like that, and remember that. You know what I mean? You was bagging. I'm like, yo, fly, real, recognize real. Like, you know what I'm saying? That energy, like, you don't suppress that. You let it go. Like, you know, like, yo, it's a fly cat. If you really a real one, you understand that. You wouldn't try to hold anyone back to keep them from doing, because you see the potential in them, and you're like, no, I don't like that nigga. I don't, so you got it. You know what I mean? And that's how I always felt and dealt. Like, because I always like to keep it 100 and like real ones around. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Gonna sugarcoat nothing, no pretend. Like, you know, you have that quality, that's our quality, bro. You know what I mean? And I seen it. You know, and I like the fact that you was building, even on records where it might not need a build. Like, what for? You was still dropping, but that's what I liked about you. Like, you know what I mean? That was your strength. You know what I'm saying? And that gave us strength. You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
The shit you was dropping inspired me to do Wake Up.
And I was just about to get to Wake Up, because that's the next song on the fucking album after Drop the Bomb. But it's the Stimulated Dummies mix, though. It's the Stimulated Dummies mix that's on there. Now, I've told you, and I've told the story many times, that when I heard Wake Up and I heard the Stimulated Dummies, it was like bittersweet. Like, I loved what you were saying, but I hated the fact that the beat I just didn't like the beat, number one, but I didn't like the fact that I didn't like the fact that some white boys was the ones that's doing. I said, go ahead.
Here's the science, God. Here's the science, God. Wake Up was already done. That was crafted by me in Jazzy Day too. It was already done. Now the politics, that might have put another 50,000 or something in it. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was politics. You know what I mean?
Right.
The game works.
Right. But in my mind, I'm like,
the foundation is Roy Ayers and Ray Goodman and Brown. You know what I mean?
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But understand how that came about is because when you did that, and I'm like, ain't no way that we're going to have a righteous anthem like this, because I could hear that it was going to be some shit. I'm like, ain't no way I'm going to over my dead body, and I going to let these white boys be the producer of this. And me and Sincere fucking went and started going through records, bro, and looking for something else, and I knew the lyrics like the back of my hand, so I'm playing all these beats and I'm saying the fucking lyrics, boom bam boom, no, that's not it. We came across the Ray Goodman and Brown, and I said, holy shit, hang on a second, this right here is fucking crazy. Let me bring this to Poobah. Let me see what he says about it. When I fucking played that fucking Ray Goodman and Brown for you, you was like, oh shit, okay. So now you took the Ray Goodman and Brown. I didn't see you now after this. You took the Ray Goodman and Brown. We didn't even have no Roy Ayers or nothing in our mind. We're just feeling like, okay, he's going to rhyme to the Ray Goodman and Brown shit. When you came back, and that fucking Sunshine was on there with the fucking, yo, bro. I knew that, yo, we out of here. And I was like, yes, this is the one. This is the one. Yeah. This is the one. This is the one that we needed, because now it got that. This is the true righteous one. Ain't no way we're going to make a righteous record like that and have that energy as the foundation of it. Ain't no fucking way. We got to blackify this shit up. So Ray Goodman and Brown, Roy Ayers, you know what I mean? Sincere, Lord Jamar, Grand Poobah. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? And that's when the niggas start getting all into the little details of it. You know what I mean? Speak on it, God. Like, just wanting to be a part of the real version. So again, everything happens for a reason. I'm glad that y'all made that fucking
That was the foundation.
that version that inspired motherfuckers to do better. I was like, nah, we could do better than this. This could be something better. And we made what it ended up being.
The Ray Goodman came first, God.
No, it didn't. No.
Yeah, God. Yes, sir, Lord. Yes,
Are you
Lord,
sure?
Yes, Lord. I'm positive, God. My first lyrics down was NJ Studio with the Ray Goodman and Brown. Then their wishing ain't came. We didn't know. I don't know. You think?
I thought that came first. I thought their version came first.
Technically now, Cypher, God, no way.
Am I remembering this wrong the whole time?
Yeah, man. You gotta take some magnesium. I don't know, God.
So you're saying that so are you sure?
That record was already done. Matter of fact, that Stimulated Dummy came after the shit came out. Like,
I thought the Stimulated Dummies, you had that, and that's why we wanted to change it.
First of all, that music.
How did I know the lyrics then? How did I know the lyrics to be able to? Because I'm telling you, me and Sincere found that Ray Goodman and Brown.
Because you knew it from the Ray Goodman. God, that Stimulated Dummy mix wouldn't even inspire me to write something like that. You know what I'm saying? For one.
Right.
That's blah, 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 blah. You can tell my voice tone on the original Wake Up that I'm in sync with Ray Goodman and Brown. My melody, my harmony. Even if you listen to the Stimulated Dummy, that verse is still the harmonics of the original Wake Up. Can the devil fool him? Move on, black man, all that shit. You know what I mean? That's Ray Goodman and Brown, God. With Roy Ayers. Then that Stimulated shit. They put it under that. Those lyrics. I didn't re-say those lyrics. Or I might have. I don't know. I gotta listen to it too. But that Ray Goodman and Brown was definitely the first one, Lord. NJ's.
Shout out to Michelle Williams. Appreciate you as always, my queen. Damn, she said, peace, Lord Jamar and Mr. Poobah. I love and respect you all so much. Did you all have crazy stalking obsessed fans? I don't know about that. Have you ever had a stalking obsessed fan, guy?
Man, I still got them now. Didn't we just talk about that earlier, girl? Love is, I mean, appreciate the love, like it's stalking, like, you know.
Right.
That degree where it's like some horror movie on some fucking, you know what I mean, Netflix shit. But, you know, like people who really appreciate and love, you know, what we do and all that. And
right. Like there's certain people that you might see at a show like all the time. You understand? Exactly. I don't consider them stalkers. I just consider them fans. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't use that word like when I pull up to the crib.
Right. A stalker is somebody that's hiding in a bush to me outside your crib. Exactly. And then you see two eyes and you're like, what the fuck? And you're like, and they jump out and they're like, hi. And you're like, what are you doing here? Like, he said almost.
But not quite.
But yeah, you know, I think we see it, Michelle, more as love and not stalking. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like stalking is when you come home to rabbit stew. You know, if you get that rabbit stew, that's when you know it's a problem. You might want to contact the authorities at that point. But yeah, I don't think we have that. But thank you, Michelle. Damn, I love you so much. Yeah.
That's it, man. I mean, we celebrating that.
Yeah, man. Well, listen, I'm not gonna keep you here for every fucking song, I guess. I know you got shit to do.
What's the next song?
Well, the next song after Step to the Rear. Oh no, after Wake Up is Step to the Rear. Now, let me just say this. Now that's the one song. That's the one song that some white boys did that I gave the cosign. I said, nah, I cannot front on this. I can't front on this. Like that was in my list of, because in the beginning, right, I didn't know that we was gonna have like a
But
5.
you gotta understand too that I arranged that. So okay, every girl. So I sing my song. I arranged that.
Right. And arrangement is very important. People got to understand when the drops come, when shit comes in and out is very important.
And all that.
Right. And
back
then we wasn't tell them how we wasn't sequencing beats per se. Like all the loops would be running simultaneously and we have to punch it in and out on the board type of shit. Like, you know what I mean? So if you did any musical changes, you had to like fucking sometimes have 2-3 motherfuckers like, okay, ready, 1 2 3, like, and with the Neve boards you got to push in and out in order to like turn it on and off. So it became a little skill, like, you know what I mean? But I got good at that type of shit.
It was fun. It was part of the craft.
It was fun. It was part of the craft. It made you feel like you was definitely like you was doing some shit. But Step to the Rear, I just got, now that's when I was like, all right, these white boys did their thing on this one. As much as I hated the Stimulated Dummies mix for Wake Up is as much as I loved Step to the Rear. You know what I mean? On the opposite flip side of that, like I can't front on that one right there. And I was talking about the songs because again, I didn't know we was gonna have a 5 mic album where people felt like they loved every single song.
I did though.
Right. Well, I didn't know that, and I'm gonna be honest. But I felt like we had certain songs that nobody could front on. I felt like All for One was one of those. I felt like Drop the Bomb. I felt like Slow Down. I felt like Step to the Rear. You see, Step to the Rear was in that fucking like, nah, there's no way they can front on this.
Busy on that shit?
Of course it is. You
see, you know why? But see, this is what the science on why I was doing joint solo. I know y'all didn't understand because I had to create another balance, like where it's like street orientated too, like, you know what I mean? Like it's swaggy and, like that gave the balance to make the niggas in the street want to hear it as well as the conscious brothers. And, it covered all spectrum. And like, that's just my whole life and my career. So I had to have that balance where, that's some fly shit. Like, you know what I mean? Because I was up on that game. You know what I mean? Like, so that's why the balance came in where it made it a classic to me. What made it classic was the balance.
My man Roman said, can I get a copy of the original Step to the Rear? A lot of people don't know. There's an original version of Step to the Rear that back then used to be changing lyrics around sometimes, and I didn't understand the method to your madness.
I thought it was too vulgar for like what we was trying to do with
when you said won't beef with a thief or put a 9 to his skull. Oh, that shit was so fucking hard. And like, when you changed that, I was like, what is he doing? Like,
you could keep that balance of like, damn, we supposed to be conscious, but now I'm talking about putting 9 in nigga's skull. But since we all brothers, that verse I'll rephrase is just saying that your arm on and just prove it at your praise. Bad boy, threat to the time. Yeah, that's where the change came. But that was like, that shit's a little bit, like nigga, quote unquote type gangster shit. You know what I mean? It just felt like I was drifting off, like out of, like especially after doing Wake Up, and I'm saying in Wake Up, I won't just the next brother to be paid as on my trade to plan that's designed by the color man, but won't be for the people for the nonsense. So it's like almost like contradictory, like I was, you know what I mean? So I was like, even though that was my move, you know what I mean?
Now, after Step to the Rear is Slow Down.
Right.
Now, who produced Slow Down?
I think everybody had their hand in it.
Everybody had their hand in it, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
That came with that Edie Bikel. We looped it up. Alamo came with those drums from the Ohio players. You sync with the joint. I
Mm-hmm.
told the girl right there, go in the booth for sync to say slow down. I told her to go do that because I tried to remind. I was making like that. I wanted a cracked out record. Remember Master
Right,
Ceremony?
right.
So that's the feel I wanted, like the cracked out joint. So I was
Mm.
slow down. That's why it's basically a cracked out part two. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we
Mm-hmm.
all definitely put it. You know, it was us unifying, coming together, and putting that together and make a
Right.
masterpiece.
But you know, sometimes people make interviews and then they try to act like they did things by themselves and all of that. And
Yeah,
so
no,
instead of telling the truth about the collaborative effort that was a lot of this fucking album, you know what I mean? But
right.
a lot of it was definitely fucking Pooh-Bah's the leader and he understands this shit more than us. But a lot, you know, it still was a
I
collaborative
gave her the
effort. Like,
opportunity to learn. Like I showed her. It wasn't like all right, don't come. You know, I had the beats was all laid out. No, it was a process.
right, and
And
we
this is how you
adding
sample
on
this.
as we
This is
go
how you
on. Like,
bang. Well, you know what? And you learn. You gradually learn. So by the time the album was complete, the mission was complete. Now y'all
right.
can go up and. You know, I didn't teach y'all. I didn't give you fish. I taught you how to fish. Like, you know what I mean?
And for me, you know, I can't front. That's one of the most valuable things that you may have gave me. You taught me how to fish before we even got to the studio. You taught me how to fish in
Right.
Billy Brickle's crib. You know what I mean? Again, I tell people how you showed me how to hear that magical part of the record that you want to sample, like how to listen for it and how to loop it up and make it continuous and all of that type of shit. Once I learned that type of shit, you know what I mean? Now I'm already a DJ. I know how to fucking, you know what I mean? What beats sound good together and all that type of shit. And yeah, man.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's what it's all about, though. You know what I mean? I try to tell people, man. You ain't all that. You ever see that cartoon with Daffy Duck?
You said what?
You ever see the cartoon with Daffy?
It's mine, all mine. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nah, that's come on, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But slow down. Yeah, that's a joint that when we did that, I'm like,
all of us, every one of us was there, and we all said, "Yo, do this, do that, yo, do all right, yo, put the drum. I put the drum on. Oh, that's fire, yo.
Now let's find some horns. Have the horns come in here. Bam! You know what I mean? Like,
come on, man. That was a collective effort. That was dope.
And when we did it, when it was done, that was a record that I'm like, nah, we out of here, bro. Like, if I had to pick two records, and a lot of people do, All for One and Slow Down are like, those are just so quintessential Brand Nubian. Like,
yep.
You know what I mean? And I said that I thought that Drop the Bomb was a quintessential when we first made it. But once this shit came out, those two records turned out to be like the strongest 1-2 punch that you could fucking ever give type of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whoo. Real quick, do you remember the climate of New York City? Like when our shit came out.
Nigga, we was up on the Deuce and all that. I just talking about around the studio.
Oh no, well, I'm just talking about the climate. Well, yeah, the Deuce. And at this time, when we was recording in that area, it was still grimy. People still come up to you, yo, I got coke, I got weed, I got, you know what I mean? Like
whores and
whores, show world, and all of the nasty flicks was still out on the Deuce and all that type of shit. It was the end of an era.
Yeah, but the climate was like. It was outside. It was a good vibe. It was like music was really being celebrated. Like niggas was up and down the street blasting shit. You know what I mean? Like it was like that was a good time, man. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you.
Hearing your shit go by, like, oh, okay,
right?
You know what I mean?
And you'll never have an era like that again, where like everybody will be playing something collectively at once type of shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Different song, same album.
Right. Exactly. Like that don't happen no more. And that's when you knew that you really had shit under control. Like when you go to Harlem and you on 125th and you hear mad different cars driving by, blasting your shit, different songs, same album, that's when you know. You're like, is it on the radio right now? No, that's somebody playing it. Like all of that shit was fucking big at the time. Like I remember when our shit first came out, we go into I used to go to record stores just to see if it's in there type of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let me see if they got this shit. Like, oh shit, it's there. They got it.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, this shit is real.
Well, I remember, rest in peace to my mom, but I remember, right? With Master Ceremonies, my first trip to the studio, right? My manager at the time, the nigga ordered the limo. I'm still living in the projects. I'm 60, still in the jets. And the limo came to get us in the parking lot. I remember taking my mom to the roof. I was like, see that? That's for me. You know what I'm saying? That's like the most craziest feeling you could ever feel. Like,
right.
When you bring your moms on the roof and be like, see, I'm going to be somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's for me right there. You know what I mean? So each step through our journey, like as far as music, you blessed, you're happy, and you know what I mean? It's definitely well deserved because we put in the work, and you know that shit is, you never get that shit back. That's the most. That's when you. Oh my God! When you first hear your shit on the radio, God.
Crazy. When you first heard your shit on the radio, for me as a DJ, the first time I was able to scratch my own record and scratch my own voice specifically is crazy. Crazy. You're like, what the fuck? Like this shit.
That's me scratching me.
Really? That's me scratching me. That's wild. Like whoever thought I've scratched all these other people's voices and now I have my own fucking record. This is bananas.
Shit,
this is bananas.
Good shit, man.
Real quick, earlier, right? The question was asked, if there's a golden era, what, because they said, if there's a golden era, is Brand Nubian in it? And what years would you consider the golden era? Yes.
See, to me, I think the golden era is that era we came out in, and here's why I say that. Because the golden era to me is the 70s, R&B, soul music, that frequency, that 432 megahertz, that bass line. Everything was about love, love this, love on a two-way street, love, I love you, I love everything. We was on the right frequency. So when it came to our era music with the hip-hop, we would sample from that era. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's why I consider the era that we rapped in the golden era, because we took records from the golden era and sampled them and made it a continuation of the golden era. You know?
I mean, I had put out years. Tell me if you agree or disagree. I said from about 85 to about 96, 7, around there.
Right. I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly, because when Rakim and Slick Rick and all that stuff.
Exactly.
I remember hearing Rakim shit in an OJ. Like, the first time ever be for president. I'm like, what the fuck?
For those of you that don't know, an OJ would be an early version of like an Uber.
yeah.
But a fly ghetto cab, basically. Like, you know what I mean? Like that plays hip hop in there, got mixtapes playing, and fucking you could smoke weed in there and all kind of shit like that.
Yeah, I heard that, but that's when I knew, like, yo, this soul is just crazy, man. But all that music, like I said, that's a good. I agree with that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because even with Houdini and them, if you even go back, like with oh my God, Friends and all that shit. That whole album, Big Mouth, 5 Minutes of Funk, like, bro.
But they still weren't into
also,
that. See, when you get to Houdini and all that, they weren't sampling much yet. And that's what I think makes a difference. I think samples are very much part of the golden era.
But that's why I said the 70s, when we started using those samples and all that, that's when we was recycling the golden era. Like,
right. Like Run DMC was trying to flirt with it at first. They were using some shit, but, you know, it was not the same. Like,
I'm going to tell you, the one record I used to fucking have my big box, whenever I got around, motherfuckers have kept rewinding that shit. That Ultramagnetic.
What, Ultra? MC Ultra? Yeah.
Ultra. That shit. I played that shit from the jet to the park, to the boy club, to back to the thing, to the mall, to the nigga. I just kept that shit right there. There's just certain joints where, you know what I mean?
That was a Latin Quarter classic right there.
Come on, man. Oh my goodness, man. So I mean, like I said, the golden era is definitely when we took samples and started creating our own. You know what I mean? With those elements and shit. You know.
Now.
And the music map. Real quick though, the music map, like the De La's, the PEs, the Brand Nubians, the Tribe Called Quest. It stayed in that vein of, like I said, in the 70s, everything was about love and peace and all of that, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it stayed in that vein as well. Like,
and it was revolutionary in the 70s as well.
Exactly.
Exactly. It was like a renaissance to that shit. And we were the babies of that time. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I wonder now if the babies of this era, you see what I'm saying? The babies that was born at this time, shouldn't they be making some shit? You see what I'm saying? Like, but just having that energy in them, you know?
You know the master plan. But it's going to come back around. I start seeing little traces of it now. I see these little young dudes sampling and all that. Like, I see it coming back around. Because you're never going to escape it. I think that's the frequency we belong on. I think we was taken off that by design, of course. But it never... It's going forever, like, you know what I'm saying? It always has to come back because that's a part of our nature and our DNA. So whether it be 10 years, 5 years from now, 20 years from now, it's going to come back around because that's our natural frequency and vibration that we're supposed to be on. You know what I mean?
Now, after Slow Down comes Try to Do Me. Now, now that one right there, I was like, I'm definitely not sure about this one. No, that was a different song. Love is like a masquerade. It's played by clown. It's yeah. Now that one I loved. That one, I was like, that shit is dope as fuck. And you goddamn right, I tried to insert myself onto the fucking record. Pooh-Bah come in, I'm in the fucking studio. It's oh, shit. But
what's your name? I wonder one of those. Because like I said, I'm a little older. I got, I had that R&B shit in me too. Because like when I was coming up, there wasn't no hip hop. I'm rocking it with my peoples, my pops, and my uncles. You know what I mean? So that's in me and better than me too. That's why I got a lot of singing hooks on my shit because, nigga, you know what I mean?
First of all, that whole sound was kind of like that Teddy Riley sound. Now, Teddy Riley is somebody that you was dealing with early in the fucking game. Talk about it.
Teddy Riley played the bass line on Sexy. No, I'm sorry. I played the bass line. Teddy Riley did the drums. But I met him through Milton LaCroix. You know what I'm saying? My first record, Crime, Teddy played that joint. Like 129th Street, St. Nicholas Projects, first floor. And that nigga was always a fly nigga. You know what I mean? We in there working, these chicks banging on, Daddy! Give me my chain back, Daddy! Give me my chain back! Like, we in the crib. That's my guy. His first wife, of course, he met through me in New Road, Donna. You know what I'm saying? After he met her with me. Like,
now, Donna used to be Sincere's girl, right?
I think somebody mentioned that. Yeah,
Yeah, when we was young.
and it's her sister, rest in peace. Tina was Tina Roberts. She was with my grade and shit. She passed and shit. So
Mm.
rest in peace to her. But yeah, that's how Come on, we go back, like what I'm saying, like that nigga was always encouraged. To me, I still ain't seen nobody work like how he do shit. That's some next level shit. Cause he'll play some hip hop hard bodies. He just raps new generation. Come on, bro. You know what I mean? He did more D's go see the doctor, but then he'll do some R&B shit like that. I watched him, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I got to see what a real producer is.
Raps New Generation. That was Teddy Riley.
That's what I just
Fucking
said, yeah. Go see the doctor, like, man, shit. How you like me now?
man,
You do that?
he did Play This Only at Night. I think he did
Yeah, he
that.
did.
He did a lot.
Come
Oh
on.
yeah, the show. He did
Yeah.
the show, bro. The
Come
show. Like that's
on.
crazy.
Get down, get loud, dance, 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 play around, look at that, bro. Still, my top, man.
So yeah, Try to Do
And
Me reminded me of some like New Jack Swing type of shit. And
here's the shit that a lot of people don't know.
right.
That's when I introduced Dave Hall. A lot of people don't know who Dave Hall is. That's who produced that track, but that's the nigga who did the Mariah Carey's Dream Merchant.
Right.
He did Mary J's first album, all that shit. But that Try to Do Me was his first record ever.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I put him in the game. You know what I mean?
Wow.
To my brother Nikolai. That was Nick's man.
Okay.
Nick Eugene.
Shout out to Nikolai, man.
Yeah, man. Yep. So, I mean, history, man. You know?
Try to Do Me. Then Who Can Get Busy Like This, man? That was that probably was another one where I was like, nah, they're not gonna be able to front on that one neither, because that fucking beat was just. Who did that beat?
Yeah.
Who did that beat?
LG, me pause LG, I think it's in studio. LG came to that sample, put that together. He didn't Nobody Can Be You too.
Right. Positive and LG. That's actually the next record that comes right after Who Can Get Busy Like This, man. So that's keeping the same vibe, I guess, going.
But see, that's that in the balance. And once again, I did all of that to balance. Like I think this is what we needed. This is what we need. This is what I think we need now. Like I was, you know what I'm saying, calculating and doing the knowledge on the songs we were doing and what, you know what I mean, what would make it a dope ass album, like. You know what I mean? Even though
you're looking at the big picture. It's like, and yes, we're not always, everybody's not always privy to the big picture. Uncivil E6P said, can we get a new LJ Poobah collab? Yeah, we got songs together right now, actually.
Oh man, damn, I don't know why you don't play that. What's your name right now?
Way to go. Did I play that? I never played that for y'all, did I? No, I don't think I did.
That's the one that'll take the nails. I'm telling you.
Maybe I'll do that as a little treat at some point. Gotta get it into my computer.
Right there, bro. You know, right there is definitely where it needs to be right now, this damn time. But that's it, man. All right, man. I'm tired of driving the safeties, man.
Do your thing, man. I appreciate you chopping it up with us for this long, man.
You know that, God.
Yeah, definitely. Happy anniversary, happy 35th anniversary. And yeah, man, many more, man. We're not going nowhere, huh?
The righteous way to go, bro.
The righteous way to go, man. All right, yeah, I'm gonna pull that up, man. I'm gonna let the people hear that one right there.
All right, that's what it is.
So yeah, travel safe, God.
Walk on knowledge, God. I'll talk to you later.
All right, God.
Peace.
Grand Poobah, ladies and gentlemen. Grand Poobah. Appreciate him coming through and chopping it up. Let me see something. Hope they don't try to do nothing funny. Okay, let's see. Mac Studio, AirDrop, options, Show and Finder. Let's put it in desktop. Okay, this is because the God Grand Poobah, he wanted me to give y'all this little treat right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Hang on, let's see. How do I do this? Media assets, music, add music. Where's it at? Where's it at? Let's see. Barbarian. Oh, The Righteous Way. There it is. The Righteous Way. Now, do y'all want to hear this song? Put some sevens in the chat right now if you'll want to hear this new song by me and Grand Poobah called The Righteous Way. Let me see the sevens in the chat because I don't want to waste your time. If you don't want to hear a new song, I'm not going to play it. So let me just see some sevens in the chat. Okay, there's a few sevens. There's a few sevens. A1 Drizzy. There we go. Okay. You sent a question? Hang on. Damn it, I'm trying to see your question. I'm going to play this song and I'll look for your question, sir. All right. New music. Lord Jamar. Grand Poobah. Building 7. This one's called The Righteous Way. Let's go.
The righteous way to go. The righteous way to go.
Peace, God. How you be on this glorious day? All wise and civilized is what I always say. I do my thing the righteous way. If it's dark, then I bring the light this way. Knowledge itself will brighten your day. I drop jewels, then I tell the babies to play. The black man as God used to be crazy to say. Sent the father to Madawan and put him away. Sacrifice for the life of the seed. Justice is the price of your deeds. If I thrust this knife, your body bleeds. You need to trust in life and where it leads. I went down the righteous path and used math to ignite my craft. I say peace, never hello. Yeah, that's
the righteous way to go.
I chose the
righteous way to go.
I build so
little one would know or believe if I told them so. You're second.
You're the original one. Yeah, you.
The righteous way to God's cipher. The earth ain't civilized, there's no way that I can wipe her. That's bad fertilization, contamination, annihilation. bringing destruction to our nation. Third eye visionary, never blind, never blurry. God's body, never weary, justice to my adversary. Time to do away with that rusty ass sword. Now we're straight laser cut when we sharpen our minds up. I got no more energy for niggas who wanna act savagely among us. I call them nigga fungus. Destroy power, the energy always sour. No corpuscular rays can walk by and kill flowers. It's the God hour. FBA, Black Power. Two ciphers make it 8 time to eliminate the snakes. The righteous way to go, high vibrations, let the little ones know.
The righteous way to go.
I chose
The righteous way to go.
I build so.
Little one would know or believe if I told them so. You're second to none.
You're the original one. Yeah, you.
I found it. Yeah. That one's called The Righteous Way, Lord Jamar, featuring Grand Poobah, produced by Lord Jamar. Is y'all fucking with that? Is y'all fucking with that? Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. We got another song too. But hang on, let's get to my brother. Mumra. He said, tell story how y'all's music ended up in episode of Martin. Hitman Hearn's episode using Punk Jump Up in training montage was dope. Fave Martin episode? Of course it's one of my favorites. It's even one of Martin's favorites. I just saw a Martin reunion special or some shit like that they had, and they were picking the episode, like Martin was picking some of his favorite episodes or and favorite scenes, and that was one of the episodes. Then specifically the scene where his face was all lumped up and he's asking Gina to give him a kiss and all this type of shit. How our music got into the Martin show, I have no fucking idea. You know, when you have a publishing deal, that's a publisher's job, is to try to get your music inserted into different things. So I would only assume that the publishers solicited our music, or maybe, you know, somebody like Martin, he was so cool and like in touch with the streets and shit at that time that he may have requested to put that in there. I'm not really sure how it got in there, because I was just as surprised as everybody else when I'm watching the fucking episode and of you know, one of my favorite shows at the time, and my fucking record starts playing. You know, it was surreal. But I was happy. But I really have no idea how it actually got into the episode. If somebody has the answer that, you know, worked for Martin or something like that, or if worked for the publisher, please feel free to share the story. Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you, Mumra. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure Martin knew the song too, right? Corey Fluid said, it was kind of boring. Okay. Well, you know what? Not every song is made to get you fucking hype and get you going crazy and, you know, all of that type of shit. Not every song is meant to do that. Cole is from Harlem. No way he wasn't listening to. Right. Oh, he said Cole is from Harlem. No way he wasn't listening to it. Right. That was a fucking hilarious episode, though. Yeah. It just needs to be mixed, right? It's not mixed. That's just straight out my phone in the crib type of shit. You understand what I'm saying? I just played some shit for y'all, but everybody's a armchair quarterback. It's all good. It's all good. Tell you what, you can make a song better. I'd love to hear it. Huh? Huh? You make something better? I'd love to hear it. Anything y'all like to send to me, actually, here's my email. There's my email. You got something you want to talk about? Business proposition? You got some music you think I need to hear? Film? A book? Whatever the fuck. That was the email. What's this? Big Hurt 45 said, let's get a rewind on that track. FBA all day. Oh, you sure? Buddy said, still a strong track, though, mixed or not. I appreciate you. All right, I'll give it a rewind. I'll give it a rewind. Righteous Way. New Lord Jamar, Grand Poobah, Righteous Way, unmixed. Unmixed version. I thought I was hooking y'all up with some behind the scenes shit, but you know, you got some people that could fuck it up for you. Here we go. It's gonna recircle again.
The righteous way to go. The righteous way to go.
Peace, God. How you be on this glorious day? All wise and civilized is what I always say. I do my thing the righteous way. If it's dark, then I bring the light this way. Knowledge of self will brighten your day. I drop jewels, then I tell the babies to play. The black man is God used to be crazy to say. Sent the father to Matterhorn and put him away. Sacrifice for the life of the seed. Justice is the price of your deeds. If I thrust this knife, your body bleeds. You need to trust in life and where it leads. I went down the righteous path and used math to ignite my craft. I say peace, never hello. Yeah, that's
the righteous way to go.
I chose the
righteous way to go.
I build so
little one would know or believe if I told them so. You're second to none.
You're the original one. Yeah, you.
Right here.
The righteous way to God's cipher. The earth ain't civilized, there's no way that I can wipe her. That's bad fertilization, contamination, annihilation, bringing destruction to our nation. Third eye visionary, never blind, never blurry. God's body, never weary, justice to my adversary. Time to do away with that rusty ass sword. Now we're straight laser cut when we sharpen our minds up. I got no more energy for niggas who wanna act savagely among us. I call them nigga fungus. Destroy power, the energy always sour, no corpuscular rays can walk by and kill flowers. It's the God hour. FBA, Black Power. 2 ciphers make it 8. Time to eliminate the snakes. The righteous way to go. High vibrations, let the little ones know.
The righteous way to go.
I chose
the righteous way to go.
I build so
little one would know or believe if I told them so. You're second to none.
You're the original one. Yeah, you.
The righteous way to go. I build so little ones would know or believe if I told them so. You're second to none. You're the original one. You. Yeah, you. Oh, just celebrating the 35th anniversary of the One for All album. Sequestro said, when does the album drop? Looking forward to it. I don't have a release date yet. I'm trying to see if I can finagle some shit. Oh, Ramra said, hey, Lord, Great God is my first cousin, by the way. That's my real fams. That's what's up. Speaking of Great God, I was going to fuck around and play another song that I may have played on here before with me, Pooh Bah, and Great God. A song with me, Pooh Bah, and Great God called Original Man. Want to hear it? Put your sevens up. Put your sevens up. Oh, it's not mixed. I'm just trying to hook y'all up with some unreleased music, but it's not mixed and mastered yet. You still want to hear it? Put your sevens up. I'll give you a second. Okay. All right. New music. Lord Jamar. Grand Pooh Bah. Great God. Featuring fucking Dane Calloway on the front. Original Man.
How can you be held in exile in your own homeland without it being your own homeland? The tens of millions of black Americans, or rather Indians, who disappeared in 1492 did not all die in the Holocaust inflicted within America. Hundreds of thousands were shipped to Europe and Africa as Indian slaves. The whole slave trade story was given to all of us in reverse. A mass colony of Africans were not shipped from Africa to America. The truth is that black Indians were shipped from America to Europe. They were then shipped from Spain to Africa as commodity for African resources. These black Indians, now mistaken as African Americans, were shipped back to America and classified as African slaves. This part of our history is what the school systems fail to mention in history programs.
Yeah. They telling lies about my origin. Said I arrived from a foreign land, indigenous to this planet Earth. She gave birth to the original man. We are, and I am. Yeah. They telling lies about my origin. See, I was here when the world began. Indigenous to this planet Earth, she gave birth to the original man. Yeah. We came first before any man. And you never was a monkey, you was always God. Kept your drums funky, they was always hard. Run this devil from amongst me, get him out of my yard. Yeah. I was here before Columbus, before he appeared like a mold in a fungus. I was dawn with gold, born with soul. Yeah. Without corn, he would've had to fold. So, Johnny come lately, why do you hate me? I taught you it all. You took it and you profited greatly. I brought you up like I adopted a baby. Now tell me if you can, who's the first on the land? I am. Jamar, Brand Nubian, great God. We are, and
the maker, the owner, the melatonin loner, the god and goddesses, so that means you too will own her. Some pretend trying to be the devil's friend, cause they just can't comprehend that we can't live amongst them. Natural immunity's my reliance, can't trust the devil's science. When it comes to taking jab, I'm not compliant. Not a pretender, nor will I ever surrender. Depopulation, they trying to change the gender. The plan should be parent in the hood, not Planned Parenthood. You know these damn devils ain't no good. I show improve, I don't say shit just to say it. Do the knowledge so I know it, through my wisdom I convey it. Original, hieroglyphic to digital. Knowing who you are on this planet is critical. So take a look around and do a visual scan, cause everything you see, it comes from the original man.
DJ Self-Born on the cuts.
I am. Yeah. Great God.
We are. And
Look, what John Hawkins didn't know when he was trafficking human wealth, he brought me to these western shores to meet myself. Abu Bakari made the journey 14th century. 120 now cipher, I got that in a plus degree. Knowledge the flame, but the wisdom Aquafina. Midwest born the flesh, but born God in Medina. Supreme wisdom in my DNA for safeguard. Manifested in this day and time is great God. I used to look up to Dale Dawkins until Atiba taught me all about John Sir Hardy Hawkins. Now it's my duty, I gotta speak the truth, teach the youth. Not sometimes, but every time I'm in the vocal booth. I populate the planet, don't you label me a black man. Great God is true and living, and I am.
I'll be the maker and the owner. I'll be the maker and the owner. I'll be the maker and the owner.
Original Man, Lord Jamar featuring Grand Poobah and Great God with the intro from Dame Calloway, scratches by DJ Self-Born, produced by Lord Jamar. Yeah, man. That's what we do. He said, now that's what's missing. Okay. We still doing it, man. 35 years later, man, and we still blessed to be able to, do it. We still got our vocal cords and we still have our faculties and we're able to, do what we need to do out here, man. Yeah. Thank you, Karen. That's right, Walter. That's where it's from. Shit, we already got a mammy anthem. Never heard Mama by Brand Nubian? So, yeah, we done went through the whole thing, babe. Basically, Grand Poobah, the Positive and LG joint, shot to my man, Positive K. That was a dope record. Brand Nubian, that was the first song from the single. That's another joint that was only on the CD, that was not on the album. Wake Up, Reprise in the Sunshine. According to Poobah, Stimulated Dummies mix was not first. I don't. I'm not sure about that because I remember having a fire under me, like, yo, we got to change this type of shit. So I don't understand. Yeah. Oh, I see you, Nia. Nia Muhammad. Peace, Queen. Appreciate you joining. About to get out of here soon. And then Dedication, you know, that was kind of a stripped down joint that I was like, I like it, you know. I just wasn't sure about some of these joints. But, you know, my man Pooh Bah said he had a master plan in his mind that certainly he felt like certain joints we needed here and there. And ultimately he was right. You know, I can't say that he was wrong because 35 years later, we still talking about this. So, yeah, man, I really appreciate, you know, everybody who supported the album, everybody who felt like they were touched by this album and it helped them in some kind of way in their real life, you know. That's why the fuck we made the shit, basically. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all for spending this time with me, reminiscing on the album. Like I said, congratulations to my Nubian brothers, Grand Poobah, Sadat X, Alamo, rest in peace, Stud Doogie. Shout out to my brother, Sincere. Yeah, fucking Wise, Reality. My man Ep Rock, who was there back in the day. Fucking man, just everybody, man. If I forget to shout you out, pardon self, you know I still love you. Yeah. And that is that, y'all. Again, I appreciate every single one of you for the super chat. Michelle Williams, you're the fucking champion. You're the fucking GOAT. All Island King, appreciate you. Silk Child, thank you. Uncivil, shout out to you. Roman, appreciate you, my brother. Big Hurt. And Jaquestro. Or Jaquez Retro. There it is. I call him Jaquestro. Jaquez Retro. It's all fucking one word. Listen, today's Thursday, so I'm going to see y'all next week. I want y'all to have a safe and productive weekend. You know, enjoy yourself, not too much. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Don't eat anything I wouldn't eat. Okay? Because you do a lot better in your life. There's a lot of shit I don't eat. And if you would just cut that shit out your life, you'd be good. But anyway. That's right. A1 Drizzy, flat power to you. Whoa. Again, 35 years, man. It's quite an accomplishment I'm proud of. And I thank you all for the years of support. I think I'm going to go out. I'm gonna leave out with the replay of Original Man. And
how can you be held in exile in your own homeland without it being your own homeland?
My name is
the
Lord
tens
Jamar.
of millions of black Americans, or rather Indians, who disappeared in 1492 did not all die in the Holocaust inflicted within America. Hundreds of thousands were shipped to Europe and Africa as Indian slaves. The whole slave trade story was given to all of us in reverse. A mass colony of Africans were not shipped from Africa to America. The truth is that black Indians were shipped from America to Europe. They were then shipped from Spain to Africa as commodity for African resources. These black Indians, now mistaken as African Americans, were shipped back to America and classified as African slaves. This part of our history is what the school systems fail to mention in history programs.
Yo, they telling lies about my origin. Said I arrived from a foreign land. Indigenous to this planet Earth, she gave birth to the original man. We are, and I am. Yeah. They telling lies about my origin. See, I was here when the world began. Indigenous to this planet Earth, she gave birth to the original man. Yeah. We came first before any man, and you never was a monkey. You was always God. Kept your drums funky, they was always hard. Run this devil from amongst me, get him out of my yard. Yeah. I was here before Columbus, before he appeared like a mold and a fungus. I was dawn with gold, born with soul. Yeah. Without corn, he would've had to fold. So Johnny come lately. Why do you hate me? I taught you it all. You took it and you profited greatly. I brought you up like I adopted a baby. Now tell me if you can, who's the first on the land? I am. We are. And I We are, and I am.
The maker, the owner, the melatonin loner, the god and goddesses, so that means you too will own her. Some pretend trying to be the devil's friend, cause they just can't comprehend that we can't live amongst them. Natural immunity's my reliance, can't trust the devil's science. When it comes to taking jab, I'm not compliant. Not a pretender, nor will I ever surrender. Depopulation, they trying to change the gender. The plan should be parent in the hood, not Planned Parenthood. You know these damn devils ain't no good. I shall improve, I don't say shit just to say it. Do the knowledge so I know it, through my wisdom I convey it. Original, hieroglyphic to digital. Knowing who you are on this planet is critical. So take a look around and do a visual scan, cause everything you see, it comes from the original man.
We are, and I am. Be the maker and the owner. I am. Yeah. Be the maker and the owner. We are, and I am.
Look, what John Hawkins didn't know when he was trafficking human wealth, he brought me to these western shores to meet myself. Abu Bukhari made the journey 14th century. 120 now cipher, I got that in a plus degree. Knowledge the flame, but the wisdom Aquafina. Midwest born the flesh, but born God in Medina. Supreme wisdom in my DNA for safeguard. Manifested in this day and time is great God. I used to look up to Dale Dobbs until Atiba taught me all about John Sir Hardy Hawkins. Now it's my duty, I gotta speak the truth, teach the youth. Not sometimes, but every time I'm in the vocal booth. I populate the planet, don't you label me a black man. Great God is true and living, and I am.
I'll be the maker and the owner. I'll be the maker and the owner. I'll be the maker and the owner.